Okay class, so today we are going to start our next new chapter, that is chapter number 8, body movements. So sit absolute still, observe the movements taking place in your body. You must be blinking your eyes time to time. Observe the movements in your body as you breathe. There are so many movements that happen in our body. When you are writing in your notebook, which part of the body are you moving? Or when you turn and look at your friend, different parts of your body move while you remain at the same place. In these examples, you also move from one place to another. You get up and go to your teacher or to the school compound or go home after school. You walk, run, skip, jump and move from place to place. So, walking, running, flying, jumping, creeping, crawling, slither and swim, these are only a few of the ways in which animals move from one place to another place. Why there are so many differences in the way that animals move from one place to another place? We will try to search out the answers for this question in this chapter. So, the first heading is the human body and its movement. So, you have all noticed that we are able to bend or rotate our body in places where two parts of our body seems to be joined together, like elbow, shoulder or neck. These places are called joints. If our body has no joint, then we can't move in any way. Now, press your fingers against the top of your head, face, neck, nose, ear, back of the shoulder, hands and legs, including the fingers and toes. Do you get a feel of something hard pressing against your finger? The hard structures are the bones. Bones cannot bend. So, how do we bend our elbow? It is not one long bone from the upper arm to our wrist. It is different bones joined together at the elbow. Similarly, there are many bones present in each part of the body. We can bend or move our body only at those points where bones meet. There are different type of joints in our body to help us carry out different movement and activities. So class, now we will move to our first joint, that is ball and socket joint. The ball is like the part of the shoulder to which your arm is joined. The rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity, the hollow space of the other bone. Such a joint allows movement in all directions. These type of joints are known as ball and socket joint that you can see in your shoulder joint. Our next joint is pivotal joint. The joint where your neck joins the head is a pivotal joint. It allows us to bend our head forward and backward and turn the head to our right or left. Okay class, now our next topic is hinge joint. So, open and close a door a few times. Observe the hinges on the door carefully. They allow the door to move back and forth. These are the type of joints that we see in our body and are known as hinge joint. So we found hinge joint in our elbow bone joint or in our knee bone. Now the next topic is fixed joints. There are some bones in our head that are joined together at some joints. The bones cannot move at these joints. Such joints are called fixed joints. When you open your mouth wide, you can move your lower jaw away from your head, isn't it? Try to move your upper jaw now. Are you able to move it? There is a joint between the upper jaw and the rest of the head which is a fixed joint. All the bones in our body also form a framework to give it a shape to our body. This framework is known as skeleton. Now the next topic is the rib cage. Rib cage is that bone structure which consists of many bones that surround your chest cavity and protects the lungs. Next is backbone. So as we all know that our backbone starts just from our neck portion
till our waist portion, that means till our pelvic region.
it is made up of many small bones. The rib cage is joined to these bones. Next is cartilage. So, in some additional part of the skeleton that are not as hard as bones and which can be bent, these are called cartilage. You can see cartilage in your ears, you can feel them. So class, as we all know that our body contains muscles along with a skeleton. So muscle is that tissue that we find in our body which help in our muscular actions. So when contracted means when we shrink the muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. It pulls the bone. Muscles work in pairs. When one of them contract, the bone is pulled in that direction. The other muscle of the pair relaxes to move the bone in opposite direction. The relaxed muscle contract to pull the bone toward its original position while the first muscle relaxes. A muscle can only pull, it cannot push. Thus, two muscles have to work together to move a bone. Now students, we will move to the next topic, that is gait of animals. So here we will see the movement of different animals starting from earthworm. So the body of an earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. An earthworm does not have bones. It has muscles which help to extend and shorten the body. During movement, the earthworm first extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion fixed to the ground. Then it fixes the front end and releases the rear end. It then shortens the body and pulls the rear end forward. This makes it move forward by a small distance. Repeating such muscle expansion and contraction, the earthworm can move through soil. The body secretes a slimy substance to help the movement. Under its body, it has a large number of tiny bristles, that means hair-like structures, projecting out. The bristles are connected with muscles. The bristles help to get a good grip on the ground. The earthworm actually eats its way through the soil. Its body then throws away the undigested part of the material that it eats. This activity of earthworm makes the soil more useful for the plant. Now students, we will go for the next heading, that is snail. Now we will learn about the movement of the snail. Now the snail consists of a muscular body and a shell that we all know. So we may collect a snail from the garden. Have you seen the rounded structure it carries on its back? This is called the shell and it is the outer skeleton of the snail, but is not made of bones. The shell is a single unit and does not help in moving from place to place. It has to be dragged along. Place the small glass plate and watch it. When it starts moving carefully, lift the glass plate along with the snail over your hand. A thick structure and the head of the snail may come out of an opening in the shell. The thick structure is its foot, made of strong muscles. Now carefully tilt the glass plate. The wavy motion of the foot can be seen. Now our next topic is cockroach. Now we all know that cockroaches walk and climb as well as fly in the air. They have three pairs of legs. These help in walking. The body is covered with a hard outer skeleton. This outer skeleton is made of different units joined together and that permits movement. There are two parts of wings attached to the chest. The cockroaches have distinct muscles. Those near the legs move the leg for walking. The chest muscles move the wings when the cockroach flies. Our next topic is birds. Birds fly in air and walk on the ground. Some birds like ducks and swans also swim in water. The birds can fly because their body are well suited for flying. Their bones are hollow and light. The bones of the hind limbs are typical for walking and perching. The bony parts of the forelimbs are modified as wings. The shoulder bones are strong.
The breastbones are modified to hold muscles of flight which are used to move the wings up and down.
Now our next topic is fish. So the head and the tail of the fish are smaller than the middle portion of the body. The body tapers at both the end. Tapers means the body become pointed at both the end. This body shape is called streamlined. The shape is such that water can flow around it easily and allow the fish to move in water. The skeleton of the fish is covered with strong muscles. During swimming, muscles make the front part of the body curve to one side and the tail part swings toward the opposite side. The fish forms a curve as shown in figure 8.23. Then quickly the body and the tail curve to the other side. This make a jerk and push the body forwards. A series of such jerks make the fish swim ahead. This is helped by the fins of the tail. Fish also have other fins on their body which mainly help to keep the balance of the body and to keep the direction while swimming. Next topic, that is snake. So snakes have a long backbone. They have many thin muscles. They are connected to each other even though they are far from one another. They also interconnect the backbone, ribs, and skin. The snake's body curves into many loops. Each loop of the snake gives it a forward push by pressing against the ground. Since its long body makes many loops and each loop gives it this push, the snake moves forward very fast and not in a straight line.
That's all for today's class. I hope that all of you have understood it well. Thank you, class.